What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good. What's up? Stankus, what's going on, man? Subi Pilot, Sean, Schmicky, Advantage, Ryan, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. This probably won't be a short stream, so hopefully you guys don't have anything planned for the next, I don't know, hour, 2 hours. Hang on. Some work stuff going on here. All right, we're good. What's going on, Larry? What's going on, Micah? All right, let me read some of these comments. We'll get right into it. Let's go to 25K and get this over with. Smash that button and let the next bull market begin. Absolutely. Guys, by the way, welcome all 20 of you that are in the stream so far. Don't forget, hit that like button. Appreciate it. Let's get this stream shared with as many people as we can. Let's have a good time. The more the merrier, right? More people to talk to, more opinions to be discussed. And what we want to know at the end of the day is what's about to happen here. We've got some ideas. And things did not look so good recently. So, what's going on, Subi Pilot? Not first. You were close. You were second. You were first after I switched it to sub-only chat. So, maybe we'll just count that. Sean, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Glad to see you. Schmicky, what's up? Advantage, my brother, what's going on, man? Ryan, what's up? Larry, good evening. Is it evening? Where are you located, Larry? For me, it's about 4, so it's late-ish afternoon, I guess you could say here. Micah, how's it going? Amanda, hello. The Stankus says, I got plans, but you can multitask? Cool. What's going on, Travis? Welcome back to the stream, man. Just working? Cool. Preezy, what's going on? Welcome. Cool. We got a good group already. And what's up to all... I think we had like 10 people comment just now. We've got another 10 here that are in the stream with us so far. And this number will get up pretty quick. But what's going on to all of you as well? Don't forget, don't be a stranger. Feel free to chat it up. Obviously, it's on sub-only mode. But we have these streams every day. So no reason not to sub. Just want to keep the chat free of trolls. We've had a couple recently. So shout out to Sarah and Shah. Best YouTuber for crypto. Thank you so much, Amanda. Larry says Arkansas. Okay. Cool. What's up with Webull Doge charts? So, yeah, I forgot I was on Bitcoin here. If you look at Doge, I mean, looking at Doge from this perspective, you can see we did fall out the bottom of this triangle that we had forming here off the move up from 16 cents. But that doesn't mean too much. Obviously, that's something bearish. But after we came out of there, we started kind of holding at this level between 24, 25 cents. So, I mean, from Dogecoin's chart perspective, it looks very okay. And it's still waiting to make a decision. When you look at it from Bitcoin's perspective, though, that's where things get a little bit more interesting because you guys already know the deal. We follow Bitcoin, right? The market leader. So that's really what we have to look at to do our technical analysis to figure out where Doge is going. And none of this, guys, I don't do clickbait. If anything's in the title or the thumbnail, it's because it's, true. And we've been talking about this for the last couple weeks. And you guys know, being in this stream, that my sentiment, my guess, and my prediction has not changed. It has been bearish since it started to look bearish. And nothing has happened to really make me change my mind. And I did say that if Bitcoin went above 35,000, that potentially I would switch to having a more bullish perspective. But even when it did that, I still wasn't feeling it because of the way it was trading. So, I'm sticking to my guns. And so far, we've been correct. So that's why it's good, to just kind of, if you know what you're doing, go with your gut. Don't let people that are trying to hype things up and pump things just because they want the price to go up to persuade you and change your way of thinking when you know that technically or fundamentally you see something obvious in front of you. And you know that's not what we do on this channel either. We talk facts. You bought some Compound? Awesome. Compound's really good. Oh, and Matthew Cogswell yesterday became a member. Let me replay that notification. Thank you so much. That was after the stream ended, so like in the middle of the night, but really appreciate that. So that means he clicked that join button next to subscribe, which is awesome, and that gets him entrance into the Discord, the members only Discord group where you guys talk to me all day, you know. Seems good. I'm keen on Doge. We look to break out. Compound seems pretty good, and my plan for today was to start really looking into some more altcoins, but just didn't have the time. But we've got a good grasp on a few of them so far. So, Amanda, you have some minutes to zero trading. Cool. You keep hearing July is big for Bitcoin, but when you look back, it's a lot of big drops in July. I don't typically look at patterns that way, but you know, if that's what people are feeling. Robbie says, just got here from my lunch break. What I missed? Nothing. Just started. We are just getting into it here, and we're about to really talk about some stuff. Can't find my view on AMP. Skydive says it was at 46 minutes and 44 seconds, if I remember correctly, in one of my last 2 live streams. So let me see. Oh, that was just... Oh, man. I'll find it for you, Amanda. I'll find it for you. Don't worry. I promise. I didn't research it and talk about it for nothing. I'll get you that link. Because I literally looked it up for you anyway, so I'll definitely figure it out and find it for you. So, guys, according to the title, T-minus, 30 minutes to potential impact. Obviously, that's mirroring our, rocket takeoff lingo. The point is, this is the moment of truth coming up here within the next minutes. Could be minutes, could be a little bit longer, but we're going to keep an eye on it and we're going to watch it. And here's what we need to discuss. What we've been talking about, as you also saw in the thumbnail, the wick-off accumulation pattern, where basically everybody has been saying that we're following the wick-off pattern to a T. And if you follow that pattern, you see here that we're in this stage right here. All right, and let's just zoom in a bit. If it'll let me. There we go. We're in this stage apparently right here of the wick off, where you make this low, you do a strong pullback, make a lower low here, and a higher low, and then a higher high, and then a higher low, and after that higher low, that's when the takeoff happens. You make this breakout above the previous high, and you make this big run up. Obviously, that big run up is supposedly going to take us, beyond here, which would be the previous high, and really probably get us close to 40,000s, which is going to drive Doge up somewhere near almost 30 cents again. So that would be a really big move. But according to the wick-off pattern as well, it then does one pullback, so maybe a pullback to, Bitcoin 38 or something like that, and then the massive actual recovery where we go above the previous highs that we made here. And so this would signal the recovery of Bitcoin for good, and where we really start to make the run up. According to research on this pattern, it is a market manipulation pattern that is, the market makers, the hedge funds, everything, they hit buys and sells, and they manipulate the market to make this pattern end up playing out. And what it does is it creates fear in the market for the retail traders, and it gives the big guys clear opportunities to buy in at great value prices. And really, it's always big money versus retail. And that's how big money makes their money, is by screwing us over and manipulating the retail traders and playing off their emotions. That's also why, 90% of or higher percent of retail traders that get into trading end up failing. And by failing, that means trying and then losing money and not ever being successfully, consistently profitable, and then stopping. So these kind of this is a very, very popular manipulation pattern, the wick off here. And there's what people are saying is, they've drawn it out here, and a lot of it, I've tried to draw it myself. Some of it's not 100%, but overall it does match up, and we are right about here. So here's the whole point. And we talked about this yesterday. Most of you were here in the stream. if we hit, let me get the right angle. Okay, here we go. So according to the wick-off accumulation, at this particular stage, and let me know if the music's too loud as well. According to this particular stage, we come down, we have the pullback. We do the move up, the pullback here, the next move up, the pullback to here, and then the takeoff, right? That's where the breakout's supposed to happen, to where we start making new highs. At that point, we're supposed to take off beyond this level here, and then get to somewhere up here. I need to move over now. And then we do a pullback, but let's do this here. Then we do a pullback, and then we take off. See here? This is what I'm drawing out. The pullback and then the takeoff. The pullback and then the takeoff. That's what we're supposed to be seeing. This is the moment of truth, and this is what we need to be keeping an eye on to see whether or not we're going to end up being successful or not. The problem overall, and we talked about this yesterday, is if the wick-off pattern is going to successfully play out, we should be seeing, you know, after the rejection here, this was the rejection at 37,000 or 36,000 was to be expected so that we could finish the pattern properly. Then we were supposed to have the sell-off. The sell-off, wherever that ends up being, it needs to be above the previous low, or else the pattern has failed. So for example, this pullback before was to around 31,000. If this pullback fails the 33,000 line and heads back and makes a new low here or here, it's failed the wick-off distribution pattern, because according to the pattern, it's supposed to be a higher low. If it's not a higher low here and we're too weak and we don't hold here and take off, that means the pattern has failed. What does that mean overall? Well, if the wick-off accumulation pattern fails and everyone has been relying on the wick-off continuing to play out successfully to confirm the reversal, we're going to see a lot of people start to panic and sell. Because what that means is that their expected reversal that they pretty much, you know, saw guaranteed based off us following the pattern for so long, it's no longer relevant. And so a lot of that buying confidence is going to disappear. So we are at the moment of truth, because this was what we talked about yesterday. We needed to pull back to 33,000 and hold and take off. We at this point have to take off like an actual rocket and break all the way back up to this previous high and continue. So what we see tonight, as long as this doesn't trade sideways forever and waste our time, we should see tonight whether or not we're actually going to take off and launch for good and finally see a sign of recovery from Bitcoin, or if it's going to fail the pattern here, pull back here. And if that happens, we could very well see market crash number 2. What do I mean by market crash number 2? Let's zoom out, and we could really start to see a scenario that none of us really want to see. If I hide the drawings, where we made this big fall down, we're trading sideways for a while, we break back down to here, and then we start making new lows. That's what is most likely going to happen if the wick-off distribution accumulation pattern does not continue to play out and everyone starts to panic. Because at this point, most of these moves have been backed by buyers and sellers that are expecting us to continue following the pattern. Once it fails, all of that confidence is going to go out the window, because the confidence in this pattern is that at this stage now it's time to recover. But if there's not enough buyers to make that happen and we break the pattern, it's no longer relevant and the buying pressure goes out the window. And I'll continue on this in a moment. Let me read some comments from you guys. Why do I say 30 minutes? It was just a rocket term. Usually here like T-minus 30 or something. It's not exact. Okay, but it's literally in these moments here. So technically it's shorter than that. We have to start watching now. It's just, you know how they always say T minus a number. I had to pick some number. I could have said 5 minutes, but I didn't actually want to like clickbait. Let's see. I'd like that AMP info as well. Okay, maybe if we get some slow time today, I'll re-go over the AMP stuff. How about that? What's going on to have a treat? Hello. I'm a new subscriber. Awesome. Glad to have you. Thank you so much for subscribing. We have these live streams every single day, and just like today, it's not always only a live stream. Sometimes there's multiple live streams, sometimes there's multiple videos and live streams. Earlier today, I uploaded a video, and now I'm live, and then later on, I might go live again, or I might do more videos. Plenty of Dogecoin content on this channel, 100% honest, 100% unbiased. I'm holding on some accounts, I'm scalping on others. I have a very unbiased perspective. I would love for the price to go up and for us to make money. I'd also love to get a dip, so that on my scalping accounts, I can continue to profit there. So I am just here for everybody, you know, to give unbiased information and technical analysis. So really glad to have you, and hopefully you enjoy the content and make money like the rest of us here are doing successfully. Larry says, what timeline do I look at to match that pattern? To be honest, I've had a little bit of difficulty matching the pattern up myself to a T. Let me just try and do it. Hang on. Because I didn't want to waste too much. I'm not a big pattern guy, as a lot of you guys that subscribe to me know. I'm obviously a technical analysis person, but when it comes to like all of these different kinds of patterns, there's so many of them. And I like to look at what I know most people are looking at. At the end of the day, that's really all that's important to me. Being on the same page is the majority. If you're doing that, you're going to be successful. But let's see. Let me see if I can draw this successfully. Probably not the 4 hour. I'm seeing some resemblance on the 2 hour. Okay, this isn't too bad. All right, let's try this. And then I'll show you what I'm matching it up to in just a moment. So you have the move down, pull back, move down, pull back, move down, the pull back up, the dip, the recovery, the dip, which, I mean, this part isn't 100% accurate, but we'll just say here, the overall move up, and then the pullbacks on the way down. Okay, then the general move up. Wait a minute. There were 1, 2. Okay, I messed that up. So we have this here. I'm just going to take a couple seconds and finish this out. Let me start from here. Let me just start from here, and then I'll go back. Dun, dun. Big dip. This is where it gets a little dicey. Actually, And then you start losing some accuracy as you go along here. Let's see. Maybe I'm not even on the right time frame for this, to be honest. Because you got the overall. All right, let's just kind of skip around through this. Then basically, yeah, I definitely butchered this part right here. All right, guys, I absolutely butchered it. I need to tweak this a little bit, but there's some portions in here that I did not get 100%. That's because there's just so many different time frames and perspectives that it gets a little difficult. But there is supposed to be a move up, a pull back, a move up, a pull back, and then the tip right there. Does that look the least bit acceptable? All right, and let me show you what I drew it based off of. So, all right, let's just minimize some of these things. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, okay, all right. So, man, it's kind of hard to see. Yellow help? I think that does. I tried my best to draw it there. I know it's not 100% accurate. For example, this little portion right here, I kind of messed that up. And so I could definitely fix that up a bit. In fact, this portion could be having to do with this part right here, and I completely misjudged this. But you can see, regardless, there's like two different main angles you can look at it from to come to a conclusion that we have been following it for the most part. So basically, whether you're using kind of like the 2 hour or the 1 hour or whichever perspective you use it from, or if it's from the 4 hour, there is an angle where you can draw this out, and this is what matters, right? It doesn't have to be exact, but if people can look at this and say, oh my goodness, we're following the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and the majority of people believe the same thing, even if they have it drawn out a little bit differently, that means that something based off of that pattern's formation is probably going to play out, because that's just the way trading works. That's how trading psychology goes. Basically, people see the same thing, and so they do the same actions at the same time, and that's why you end up having strong levels like support, resistance, key levels, and then also people, reversals off Fibonacci levels, reversal off EMA levels, because everybody's looking at those same things and buying and selling at the same points based off of it. So, and I probably shouldn't have deleted all my work just now, but I didn't think that one through. But yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. So what that just tells us now is this is the last pullback, supposedly, if we're going to follow that pattern, and then we should be taking off. Now, if we do not hold here and we end up going down and hitting the same low that we did on the last pullback, that pattern is officially broken. We had great following up to this point, but you can see here we did a bit of a head and shoulders right here, which was the first bad sign. It's good for the pattern because, right, it called for a pullback, but still, I mean, that's the head and shoulders is the most bearish reversal pattern that there is. It's not what you want to see. Only followed by, a bull flag. I'm sorry, a bear flag. So, very obvious head and shoulders formation here, and it did form. But what this usually will tell you is if people, for the most part, saw this as a head and shoulders and not just as a little move, because it looks pretty clean. So if most people are seeing this, they're going to feel more inclined to sell. That's just the way that usually goes. Now, if people don't recognize this as a head and shoulders, even though it very clearly is, but most people are just kind of dismissing it because it is a little sloppy. You see right here, the way that these shoulders formed. Usually you want to see some more definition in the points. So if people dismiss that, there is a chance of recovery. But if people see this head and shoulders, what that usually signifies is a bit of a bounce and then the actual fall off. So that's not good. Not good for the pattern. And if it's not good for the pattern, that means long-term it's not good, because this pattern is the last thing we really had to keep us up here. We already showed extreme signs, and this is what I talked about yesterday. We showed extreme signs of bearishness when we made a new low on this pullback. Before, our all-time low was 29,250. Now it's 28.8. So we made a new low here on this last pullback after we tried to break 42,000. And Doge, I mean, it doesn't have much more room to go before we end up back in the teens. So if we don't want to end up back in the teens, we can't afford to see a market crash here from Bitcoin. And let's get to some of your comments and then we'll keep talking. The way you were reading the Wyckoff, it suggests 31 for this low. My problem with 31 for this low is that was the previous low. So according to the Wyckoff pattern, we can't make 31 for the low. See right here? If we come all the way back here on the pullback, we didn't really make a higher low at that point. We made the same low again. Where did I close that page out? I don't even know where it went. Hang on, let me get it back. Oh, I think I closed it. See? On this pullback, it can't be the same level, or else that's no longer the Wyckoff pattern. It has to be a clearly higher low. If it goes back, if the pullback is to 31,000, which is here, that would be here. And that would not be making a higher low at that point. That'd basically just be making the same low. because really the majority of this was right here at about 31,000. So you get to move up, and then that would be a pullback to this, which isn't the pattern. It would need to be at the lowest right about here. Because also when you look at that level, it's supposed to be a level of support as well, which ends basically right here. As you can see, the consolidation, the wick, consolidation, the wicks, the consolidation in the wicks, right around 42.5. We shouldn't be going below that, this level right here. And it's not following it to a T either. That's the other thing. It's not perfect. It's not 100%, because technically, the low on this pullback was supposed to be the low here, but it's just not following it. As you see, that's not how this is going exact. But overall, it has been following the pattern. So that's why I said, me personally, I don't even fully believe in this whole wick off thing, and I haven't. I don't feel like enough people know about it, and I just feel like overall, just from, because we watch this chart every single day, guys. For everybody that's subbed to this channel, you know that when we go live, we watch this Dogecoin and Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin's the market leader, so we have to watch both. But you know that we watch both for hours, and then when the stream ends, we're still watching both for hours. And then the people in my Discord group and on Twitter that are still communicating with me, we're still watching the chart. Hours every single day, and we have been for like 2 months. We know over the last couple weeks that buying pressure has been below where it needs to be to see a reversal. So overall, the viewpoint has just been bearish because it just hasn't looked good. Let's delete some of these lines on Dogecoin. It's getting really cluttered. Always keep your chart relatively clean if you can. Let's just delete some of these levels down here because we're not close. So there's no point in having these distracting lines. We'll just delete most of these. And we can draw them if the time comes, which hopefully it won't, but the way it's looking, it will. Honestly, let's just get rid of almost all of them, except for our highs. There we go. Bitcoin we'll still kind of leave up there. Not this one. We will leave... We'll leave the 31,000 up. That's a very key level. 31, 33, 35. This is the range, but we can delete the blue line here. And then the high level that we need to pass. There we go. So now we've just got actual key levels up. We've got our danger zone here indicated by the red, which we can actually delete as well because it's no longer relevant. And this was the bounce zone, but now we're in the bounce zone, so we can also delete this box and this. Same thing. Cool. Cleaning up the chart. Clean up your chart. Keep it clean. Only a couple indicators at most. Couple lines at most, and then that way you can actually see the price action. With all those lines, you get too lost in things that aren't important. The candles are the most important thing. Yeah, shouts out to Elisa. I didn't even get a notification for Elisa. Did it play? Are my notifications broken? I might need to re-enable this whole subscriber thing here. But yeah, Elisa, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Hey, Sadhu, what's going on? Great to catch you today. You didn't see any tweet about the show? I dropped one not long ago. It was, yeah, I dropped a tweet at, it was about 50 minutes ago. So about 15 minutes before I went live. Right here. The legend is live. Yeah. If it fails and drops to 40 to 70, backholders are going to panic and sell, and Doge will hit, oh, you mean 4 to 7? And Doge will hit 13 cents if so. Very likely that we end up in the 13 to 16 cent range if things go back down there, for sure. Hey, what's going on, Zaki? Welcome back to the stream. Bumped onto your live video once again. Glad to see you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. But it's going good. I'm actually wearing, by the way, guys, I told you guys I was going to make shirts. They just got here today. And this is the white one. There's obviously nothing printed on it. I'm still waiting on that equipment and stuff. But I'm just testing the quality of this brand before I actually customize them. And they actually fit pretty good. It fits nice. It feels good. So, and it's not transparent. That was my other problem. Especially if you're like a little bit darker skin. I hate wearing white shirts because people just see your skin through it. And this one's pretty opaque, so it might work. I'll keep you guys posted. Just gonna make some like Dogecoin shirts and like buy the dip stuff. It'll be pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Is your name Elisa Have a Treat? Was that you? Were you speaking about yourself? And then you're a very bearish person in YouTube. Most other YouTubers always talk about Doge to the moon. Well, that's the thing. Dogecoin is not always going to the moon. And at the end of the day, yes, we strongly believe Dogecoin will go to the moon. We know in a couple months we've got, once Bitcoin does recover, because this is all temporary. Once Bitcoin does recover, by all means, Dogecoin to the moon. In the meantime, though, for everybody out there, because there's like tens, hundreds of thousands of us right now, without a doubt, that are trading, or more, that are trading Dogecoin. Not everybody is just a hodler that bought and is just going to wait for eternity. So for the people that aren't just playing the hodl, or even for those that are, but that want updates in between and know like what's going to happen next. Should I buy now? Should I sell and buy later? For all of those people, Dogecoin is not just going to the moon. Long term, yes. But in between, there's plenty of plays to be made. Plenty of buy opportunities, plenty of sell opportunities, plenty of scalp opportunities, plenty of swing trade opportunities. So there are days when Dogecoin is going to crash into the ground, not go to the moon. And we are live every single day to report on which direction that we're going to go in. Is it to the moon that day or that week? Or is it we're preparing for an insane market crash that's going to drop the price of Dogecoin by 10 cents or something crazy, to where you can buy a dip, get back in lower, maybe put even more money in and get more shares of Dogecoin so that on the way up you make even more money. Which means you are more realistic during a downturn market. I don't know what to do. Well, I appreciate that. That's my whole goal, is just be 100% realistic every single day. It's not about being right, it's about being realistic. And when you're realistic, you do tend to also be right as kind of a upside of being honest and realistic with your projections. Or at least close to being right most of the time. All my money is already in Doge, not more to buy when it goes down. The thing is, Dogecoin and Bitcoin shouldn't have much room to crash. Even if it does, the thing with Bitcoin, the reason I'm not really panicking, is at the end of the day, if Bitcoin does not hold 33,000 and it does fail here and then it fails, it should not be going below 20. That's going to bring Dogecoin to somewhere low teens. It could be 12 cents, it could be 13 cents or something like that if we go to 20 flat on Bitcoin. So even if your average is like, in the 20s, 22 cents, 25 cents, 26, it's not that much further below you. You might as well just hang in there. So at this point, if you're buying anytime between now on Dogecoin and lower, you're kind of in a good spot, because we know in a couple months Dogecoin is going to be back to like 60 cents pretty easily. And that's being conservative. 50 to 60 cents is being conservative. With good news and more stuff, we have more room up. But just to keep it conservative and realistic, we know Dogecoin can easily get back to 60 cents. So just being in at like mid-20s, you're going to have doubled your money by then. So no worries there. What would I do if I was in your situation? Well, your average is about 60 cents. I mean, you're already down pretty far as well. So I don't know. But my problem is right now, buying in at a potential reversal point. So until we see confirmation that Bitcoin isn't going to hold here, it's a little bit risky to sell, because you could be selling at the reversal point where it then is going up. It's also what I said yesterday. Selling anywhere in this general area is a bit controversial. Now, if you see that we start looking bearish here again and we really look like we're going to crash hard below 33, then maybe sell a portion of your size or something. Half your shares, and then look for a rebuy at the dip. I don't know if I would sell completely. When you start trying to do too much and you're already down low, a lot of times it ends up kind of biting you in the butt. which is just my problem with scalping when you're already down a substantial amount and you're near the bottom. It just gets riskier the lower you go, because you never really know for sure what the price action is going to do next, even if you do as much TA as you possibly can. So I would say if we're still looking bearish here, and it doesn't look like, I mean, there's a very high chance we do recover out of this and make a move up. So you might not even feel the need to sell, just based off this little bit of a flag pattern we're starting to see here. Usually a downward slanting flag indicates we'll break out the top of it, but we'll see. If you do feel uncomfortable, maybe just sell like half of what you have and look to average down with that money. What's going on to Jonathan? What's up? Joseph says, if Bitcoin really drops to 25, I'm going to buy a whole one. Hey, that's a good call. That's pretty free money right there. If you can afford a whole Bitcoin at one of the dips, yeah, why not? Absolutely. The wick off to me is just pareidolia for charts. Is it easy to learn technical charts? It's easy to learn the concepts behind technical charts, but then it just is one of those things that it takes time and dedication and commitment to keep looking at charts and continue to be more familiar with like what they're telling you, because candlesticks aren't in themselves complicated to understand, for example, but to really be able to like glance at them and understand what all these different candlesticks are saying to you just at a glance, like I open my eyes, glance at it, close them, and I know exactly what I just saw, that takes time. So no, it's not hard to understand technical, but it just takes time to get much better at understanding it. Or it's not hard to learn, but it takes more time to understand and be confident in what you're seeing. Had to step out and pause the live. Thanks for the pattern info. Absolutely, Larry. Are we head and shoulders on the 4 hours? Yes, we are head and shoulders on the 4 hour. Michael says, problem is my average is around 56 to... Oh, yeah, I read that one. Sorry. Joseph says, my thing is that I'm not really trading, so I don't know if I should just buy now and hold no matter what, because it's going to go up in the coming months. If it does follow the wick off, I don't want to miss out. Yeah, well, definitely just keep a very short-term eye on Bitcoin. That's going to be our answer. If we start seeing weakness below 32.5, it might be just time to reconsider our whole Doge play here, because if we start pulling back into this area here, that means the wick off is not really following. And so that's why when me personally in this area, I just went ahead on all of my scalping accounts, I closed all of my Dogecoin positions that I had. Oh, sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Some work stuff popping up here. Yeah, so if that's how you feel, like you don't want to mess around too much, but you also want to keep an eye on it, just really take a look at what we do on the stream, really, because the whole point of the stream is to monitor what's going to happen next. Are we going to break below, or are we going to break up? If we start bouncing, cool, there's a chance we go 36,000 and above, and this is the recovery. But if we start falling down, there's a chance that the wick-off pattern fails and we see a massive sell-off. So this is kind of the stream to just watch and see what happens and then make a decision. If it starts to look bad, you can always start cutting and looking for a buy back in much lower. If it starts to look good, you know you didn't make any decisions way too early. Carrie, thank you so much for subscribing. Glad to see you again. I know you were in yesterday's stream, so that's awesome. Glad to see you. Just tuning in, Ray says, OG. Yes, sir. Glad to see Mariano taking off. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Ray. Massive downside incoming tonight. Very, very possible, Samuel. Very possible. And that's what we are really watching this stream for here, because if we fail, don't forget, this is my perspective, okay? But me and everybody that's been on this channel watching these live streams and watching my videos every day when I upload, and me on Twitter too, as I talk to you guys between videos and content, you know what my perspective is. I'm just one person, but I'm trying to analyze everything and see it from everyone else's potential perspective. All the different angles that buyers could be coming from, all the different angles that sellers could be coming from, and just getting an unbiased opinion of what it looks like is going to happen next. So far, I've been correct. Over the last couple weeks, what I've been saying, it's cool that we're seeing all these like bounces off support levels, but I'm still overall bearish on Bitcoin because of the lack of strength that we have. Also, the lack of any kind of decent recovery, and the fact that we've now been under the 35, had the most trading activity under the 35,000 level that we've ever had since the crash. Look here, couple hours, barely, couple hours here. This was like a whole week and a half. And now we're back under it. We only had a brief break above it. That was like a little fake out, a bull trap here, a bounce off the 36,000 level, and now we're back down to, we just touched 32, falling under the 33,000 support, which just goes back into bearish territory. My perspective has not changed, and things have been playing out according to my perspective as well. So I'm pretty confident in the way I feel about this, and that's just based off of staring at the charts, so that you guys don't have to for hours and hours and hours and doing tons of research, but then also experience. But at this point, I strongly believe we're going down, and if we don't, that'll be cool, because then everybody can start looking forward to a recovery. But I do feel like there'll be one more dip. That's my angle right now, and we'll see. It should play out here within, I'd say, the next hour or so, or less, or maybe even, 15 to 30 minutes. So, stay on the stream, stay tuned. We'll see something happen with this flag pattern. But, yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Click that notification bell too. If you've already subscribed, click that notification bell so you actually get notified as soon as I go live. Sometimes my streams are only like 20 to 30 minutes. What have you missed? Basically, just following the wick-off pattern, we're supposed to be rejecting, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, if it's wick-off, whatever. But we're supposed to be rejecting off of this level, and this general area right here is kind of the absolute low that we can go before we start entering dangerous territory, because we're supposed to make a higher low and then take off. If we go back down to the 31,000 level, we'll be making the same low as before, which is no longer a higher low, which means the pattern probably failed. At that point, all the people that were strongly believing in a reversal happening based off this pattern, once the pattern fails, they're going to flip bearish and panic sell, I believe. And so we'll see a sell-off. So we're just watching to see what happens if we do reverse, or if we end up selling. The problem also being is that we did get a head and shoulders, a bit of a head and shoulders formation here. Maybe not everyone's using the 4-hour time frames, though maybe they don't see it as well. But I mean, if you just take a look, you can see it's a pretty obvious head and shoulders pattern right here. In my opinion, that's pretty obvious. And after that, there should be a strong move down. So a lot of bearish indicators going off right here. Only thing keeping this together is going to be that wick-off pattern. We'll see if it follows. If so, we can see a nice recovery over these next couple days and a return to highs and new highs on Dogecoin as well. So, I mean, either way it goes, guys, this is going to be good for us. There's going to be money to be made. The whole point is, you know, from an experienced trader perspective, everyone in this chat right now should be looking at it as, how can I prepare to make money no matter which way the market goes? That is always the trader's question. Day traders have no bias. They don't care which way the market goes. They care about volatility. Volatility is how you make money, not the price going in a certain direction. As long as it's going in directions, there's money to be made because you just trade the movement. And that could be us starting from here and going up, or it could be us going down further and going up. Or if you're shorting, it could be us going up and then they can sell on the way down and buy back later. Volatility is the moneymaker, not the price. Unless you're a hodler, which still volatility is your friend because you need the volatility to kick the price up. So that's kind of the angle we come from. That's why I genuinely do not care, you know? It's just do something. The worst thing that has happened to us was over the last couple weeks when Dogecoin was trading sideways right in here. Like in here, and then right here was especially bad. This is the trader's worst nightmare. When you just are seeing this ranging and no clear opportunity to make money. Look, from here to here, that was about 2.5 cents. Over the course of what? A whole week? Really bad. Low volatility means no money. It means stability, but it also means no money. Sorry, I'm reading comments a little slow. Let me speed up. Tomorrow will be the real red day, sitting all crypto down with it. Starts tonight. That's the way it's looking. Like button, you got there. Appreciate that, man. Who didn't get to the like button yet? Dogecoin needs a button on this channel. I'm working on that. You guys want a Dogecoin button? I'll try and get one. I don't know what it'll do, but I'll figure it out. Charts are the language in which the market speaks. Just got to learn how to listen and comprehend. Exactly. It's literally like learning another language. And the more you invest time into like looking at charts and trying to understand, like, what is this telling me? What is this telling me? It's like learning a language, and then it's like learning to ride a bike or learning to drive a manual transmission car. It's like once you know it and you're confident in it, you can, I mean, you know, pick up anything. Drive any bike, drive any car. If the Dogecoin needs to pump, I agree. If the stock market goes way red, I believe that crypto will follow. Come on, guys. Do you think massive dip in stocks would mean people will take crypto money to buy the dip? Yeah, but vice versa as well. Usually well, not really. What ends up happening a lot of times, there will be dip buyers, and it just depends on how confident people are in certain stocks or crypto. Because what we see a lot of times is actually the opposite. So instead of, for example, crypto market doing well, stock market not doing well, and so people shifting money out and going in to buy the dips, what a lot of time we see is the opposite. Because the people that are buying coins like Dogecoin and such, they're meme stock buyers, and they buy into pumps versus dips. And yes, they want dips too on the actual cryptocurrencies or stocks that they're super into. But what they do is they chase movement instead. They're retail traders, they're beginners. So they end up they see 200% move. They're like, ooh, I want some of this action. And those are usually the people that lose money, but they also continue to move the price up with those buys. So what we see a lot of time is wherever most of the activity is where the meme stock people and the hype chasers will end up buying into. Which is why usually if you see, let's just say GameStop or AMC, if you see it dip and it looks really low, but then it starts to recover and it looks like there's potential on the way up, or if one of those stocks is like reaching all-time highs, like AMC at like 60, 70 bucks, people are going to sell their crypto to then buy into those moves, thinking it's just going to go to the moon no matter what. So a lot of times it could just be a distraction. What would you do an online training for technical analysis for beginners at crypto? Other YouTubers make things sound so complicated. I think I can learn and absorb for you. Yeah, absolutely. I've actually started making that course. Okay, little breakout to the top side. So we're keeping an eye on this right here. Bitcoin. This did look like a bullish flag anyway, so I expected a break to the top side, but let's also not get faked out. So let's make these lines a little cleaner. There we go. And then once we break out, we do need to test it as support and then also get past the 200 EMA. So there's a couple things in the way here, but we need to still just watch it and see what's going to happen. It could fake out and just dump back down. That happens a lot too. So yeah, I'm actually making a training course for anybody that's new or intermediate-ish and wants to learn some more, wants to have a better understanding of like how to trade and fundamentals and all of that. I have been making it. It will be uploaded, you know, for free. There's some special videos in my training course specifically made for people that have recommended it in the Discord group, I mean. But those end up going live anyway. So as long as you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get all that content for free. And there's a couple videos up already. There's like an introduction to trading video. What type of trader do you want to be? What type of traders are there? There's a video on which brokerage you should be using if you're a beginner. And there's much more to come. Can't be more people than likes. Well, I wish, but that's not the way it goes. Quadup says, I bought Dogecoin at 1 cent, so I'm not mad if we go back to teens. You'll just buy more. If you don't, then you're still good. That is an insane average. So yeah, I bet you're happy. Quadup says, or I'm sorry, Travis says, what's the best platform for scalping fee-wise? You want to use one of the free ones. So use probably Robinhood. But just beware when there's extreme volume on Robinhood. That's when it tends to have its crashes. So you want to be very careful about your scalping when things are going absolutely insane volume-wise. I would recommend to slow down when that happens if you're going to use Robinhood and kind of buy low and then look for a sell high, but don't overplay it. That way you don't get burned when Robinhood does its nonsense. Robinhood's definitely, for crypto scalping, I'd say my #1 recommendation, as long as you can play that part right. Option 2 would be Webull, but sometimes they fill you at really odd prices and it makes it hard to scalp. So definitely Robinhood's #1 by far. Even though I don't like Robinhood. It is what it is. It's what I use. What do I think is a good buy-in target for Doge? Anywhere 25 cents and under is a good buy for Dogecoin. The higher up you go beyond that, the more risky it gets. But I genuinely think 25 cents and less is a dip buy no matter what happens after. So, you know, Dogecoin goes to 5 cents, you're in at 25. I mean, it's bad, but it's 25 cents Doge. And we know what Doge is worth, which is like 40, 50, 60 cents. So, but the higher up you go, the more chance there will be that you'll end up out of profit into the red zone when there's dips. So 30 cents and above is where I start to get a little more skeptical. It's not a crazy great dip above 30 cents. Hungarian guy 09, thank you for subscribing, man. Welcome to the channel, bro. Let's see. I would buy a whole Bitcoin at 28. Could 10x in a year or two. Yeah, absolutely. Buying a Bitcoin long-term investment, Bitcoin or Ethereum, is going to be a very stable moneymaker. You just buy it and hold it. No need to scalp it or anything. Hit that like button. Thank you. Yeah, guys. By the way, if you don't feel comfortable subscribing quite yet, I completely understand. If you do, don't forget to hit the button, of course, so you don't miss me next time I'm live, which will be tomorrow or later tonight. But if you don't want to subscribe yet, at least hit the like button for me. Appreciate that. BA says, should I buy now or wait for a further potential dip to maximize my money? I won't be able to buy again for a week or two. There's not much harm in buying now. The thing is, if you're not in and you're not going to be like a constant scalper, like a buyer and a seller that's, you know, looking to make a lot of trades, you'd want to be in at a discount, especially if you're seeing that we're potentially going to take off from here and never come back. That's where things start to get a little concerning, right? So being in at 24 cents Dogecoin is not at all bad. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if we dip to 19 cents. It doesn't matter if we dip to 17 cents. Being in at 24 is not bad because after the dips, there will be the recovery, and then there'll be the recovery back to normal prices, which is like 40, 50, 60 cents. So you could absolutely buy now, but what I would recommend is probably scaling in. So maybe put half in now and then wait to see what happens next. Scale into the position. Or you could just wait this out a little bit and potentially buy 1 or 2 cents higher on Doge and just see what's going to happen here with this move. but this could be a move up here. That's the way it's really trying to break. So if we do continue following the wick off pattern here, these prices could really take off. So either wait it out a little bit and risk buying all in a couple cents higher, or go like half in now and half in later or something like that. Would be my recommendation. Probably half now, half later, if you're asking me. I thought Wickoff was waiting for one more big dump. Nope, this should be the moment. Why don't you split your trades? Maybe like if you're not sure. Exactly. Very obvious. Even you see it. Yeah, that head and shoulders is pretty clear as day. I'm placing my bets on the downside, whether it's today or sometime within the end of the week. I understand. I don't see how it'll go up with such low volume. Yeah, you'd be surprised though. The market makers, they'll kick volume in out of nowhere. How does some stuff... He does have some stuff out there? Yeah, I do have some stuff out. What's going on, Byron? I received your notifications 30 minutes late? Really? The noties went out late, huh? That's disappointing. Yes, Dogecoin button, my man. Or press 1, give a visual. Okay. Did you get the Coinbase debit card? No, I don't have any of the cryptocurrency exchange debit cards. And that's because I don't know which one I really want to commit to yet. I kind of have an account with everybody, and I haven't decided. 31.5 Bitcoin tonight, your prediction? It's very possible. What you just explained about volatility and making money is why I laugh at folks who say, yeah, you can make money off crypto, but it's too volatile. Those things are linked, not mutually exclusive. Yeah. The only time you should be scared of volatility is if you are bad at trading. And there's nothing wrong with being bad at trading. That's, if you're a beginner, you probably suck. It just is what it is. When I first started trading, I lost thousands and thousands of dollars because I decided that I thought I was good enough and I understood the concepts, and I said, you know what, I'm going to skip paper trading and I'm just going to do it and figure out myself. How hard can it be? Buy low, sell high. Well, I sucked. It just is what it is. If trading was that easy, everybody would be a millionaire. That's just not how it goes. But volatility is how you make your money. So you become a good trader, and then you look for volatility. That's how it goes. For someone to be scared of volatility probably means they don't know what they're doing. Volatility is money. Is Doge going to blow up? And which direction? I can say yes to that question, but also which direction? Because either way, yes, it is going to blow up in one direction for sure. Shouldn't Doge be in the teens right now with everyone and all the hype about it? In the teens? No. No, not necessarily. Doge is where it should be. Doge should actually be a couple cents higher. It's lagging a little bit behind. Okay, it looks like Bitcoin really wants to take off here, so we'll see. But if it gets stuck here, that'll be interesting as well. Byron says, Bitcoin will drop to 25,000. You just got some more today. Might as well scalp it today and buy back when it's 25K. Please advise. Moments of truth are right here. This will give us a very good indicator of what's going to happen next. So just take a look at these two yellow lines. If we go above it, there's a very high chance we continue up for the rest of the day into tomorrow. If we go below it, there's a chance we crash. Until one of these two things happen, though, answer is unsure. But that's why I got this live stream for everybody, so we can watch and see together what's going to happen here. But we need this to play out before we really start making predictions. You know, guys, that I've been bearish, but at the end of the day, I am not all the buyers and sellers. So all I can do is analyze what I'm seeing so far, but then the decision makers, which are the people spending the money, are the ones to make that choice, not me. So let's take a look here and see which way it'll play out. Some rejection wicks here. It's not a great sign. We'll leave that how it is, kind of. Yeah, no problem, Byron. Jared, I'm subscribed. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Not worth scalping these 1 cent moves, though, unless you got a lot of money to lose. No, not at all. Unless you're an absolute professional scalper, and there are people that literally scalp 1 cent moves, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they use a ton of money and tons of shares to make profit off 1 cent. Unless you are that person, you should not be trying to scalp 1 cent moves, or even like 3 cent moves. You should be scalping like 5 to 10 cent moves minimum. Minimum, absolute minimum. And that's not even really scalping. That's just day trading at that point. Also use limit buying and selling on Robinhood. They use a 5% thing when you use Insta. Price may be 5% higher than you want or 5 less. Yeah, definitely limit sell and limit buy if you don't want money wasted. And we talked about this actually a couple weeks ago when a lot of you guys were like brand new. Limit buying will save you a lot of money. You should only be doing market buy if you don't have enough time to place a limit order, and you think due to the fluctuations in price, by the time you type in the price and hit submit, you'll be out of the limit. All right. So if the price is quickly rising or dropping, yeah, maybe you don't do a limit order. You just click market and you ride the wave. But if things like this right here, you know, where the price is sitting sideways and you have all the time in the world to get an order placed, definitely limit order. They tax you hard for market orders. You will not get bought in where you want to. Like for example, on Doge right now, it's at 24.6. If I placed a market order right now, I'll probably get filled somewhere like 25.6. So I'm already 1 cent lost. Maybe not that extreme, but sometimes it is. Oh, I'm so sore right now. I did a lot yesterday. What's going on, Josh? Welcome to the stream. Amanda with the prayer hands. Can I look at compound, see if it's upside? Yeah, let me take a look. Quad Up says, yeah, I put 250 in Doge at 1 cent for memes. Didn't know it would break out like this. Well, that's awesome. You've got a lot of profit right now. That's pretty dope. Lori, what's going on, Lori Body? Happy to be back. Yeah, please keep the live sessions coming. Can't wait for your tutorials. Awesome. I appreciate that. And I'll get those out ASAP. Is this a low price? Yes, if you sell in a few weeks or months. Is this a low price if you want to make money tomorrow? Probably not. Exactly. Yeah, but why would they when they could just let it dump and then buy cheaper? What was your last comment? Yeah, true. But the whole point of this wick-off pattern is that this was like the dump for them to buy cheaper, and this is now their signal that it's time for recovery. That's kind of how that pattern works. This is the best technical analysis ever. Man, you're always so hype, and I appreciate that, Jared. Big supporter. What's the number for going up if that we want to hit? The moon. Honestly, Crypto Naz, what we need to do if we bounce here is move up past the 35,000 level, get to 36,000, and then break above that. That'll be a bit of a breakout shorter term, as you can see here. It's been a while since we've been above 36,000. Once we do that, we then take off. You see here, we're right here. We did this pullback. We could do a little move like this, take off, break out, and then we need to break above the 42,000 level, which we have not done successfully yet, as you can see. If I just drag this line over, you see the last time we were at 42,000 was when we crashed. See that? So this will be a break above previous resistance, all-time high. When you go back to what's been happening since we dropped, and then we want to break out to the top side and head back up to 55,000 Bitcoin. That'll take Doge up to like 50 cents. So that's what we really need. That's the positive. That's the positive scenario. Let me draw out the negative scenario. And so that will be, we had the wick off pullbacks here, the move here, bit of a recovery, the fail, maybe a bounce right here. I don't know. A pullback, failure, and longer term heading back down into this sad area for crypto. Those are kind of our two scenarios right now. So we'll see how this plays out. Definitely losing some volume here. Webull chart should be down soon. Yeah, they should be down really right about now. But for some reason, they're not. Sell, sell, sell. Is that U7? Speaking of which, where's he been? Starting to form possible rejection or side-to-side pattern before rejecting down. Yep. They will help make us go up just to crash it. I wouldn't add from here. It's rejecting sell, sell, sell. Yeah, by the way, guys, like I said, I am out. All right, on my scalping accounts, the accounts that I hold or swing trade on, which is basically just the ones I'm not diamond handing, I am not in right now. I did sell, and I'm just going to wait for confirmation. That's my position. I don't trust that we're going to go up enough here to be in, and I sold on one of these upswings right about here, selling at a high, just in case I do see confirmation we're going to hold. Then I can buy back in at right around the same level, no loss. So if you don't believe in this and you're a shorter term trader, not a like multiple week or month or year holder, but you're more of a shorter term trader looking to trade moves, basically you would sell on this swing high here if you don't believe it's going to continue. You sell on this swing up, wait for the pullback, see what it's going to do next. If it does start looking strong and it looks like it's going to take off, what you can do is buy right back in where you sold. Literally no loss, no gain. But you played it safe. And that way, if it does happen to do this, you're also out. So that's how you properly play that. But then, of course, the only downside potentially would be if you sell at the swing high, it does a really mini pullback, and it unexpectedly starts to take off, then you would have to look for another dip here, you know, wherever that level of support is. But